Hey, everybody. I just want to answer a question that I was just recently asked. It's a question that's been very common that I have been asked over the years, and that is, how much money can I withdraw from my retirement savings each year, each month, when I'm in retirement? So this is a very important question. So let me just lay the groundwork before I go and share my screen and look at a spreadsheet sheet with you. So you need to understand, if you are approaching retirement, you definitely need to pay attention to this. And if you are not where you want to be financially with your retirement savings, you need to do some serious priority readjustments so that you can get to where you need to be. If you are really young and beginning your earning years, then you need to take this especially serious, and you need to be doing your planning now so that you reach the target of where you want to be in your income. Now, that may mean you need to do some creative stuff, and if you're really close to retirement, you may need to be extraordinarily creative in order to be able to reach what your goals are to be able to live monthly and yearly in retirement. So I want to share my screen so you can have a good understanding of what we're looking at. So we're going to look at two parts of this. And the first part on the top is we're going to look at some numbers. We're just going to play around with it. So what we in the financial industry recommend is that you typically do not withdraw more than 4% from your retirement funds in your retirement, especially in your beginning years. And that's for a very simple reason. If you are withdrawing 4% in your retirement funds because you've had to dial back your risk because you're no longer earning any money and contributing to it, so you're not building it, it's not during the earning years for that. So we have to dial that risk back because you no longer can sustain loss. Loss in retirement can be catastrophic because you have no income coming in to supplement or to replace what was lost. So it's very important that we dial that risk back significantly, putting you in something bonds, CDs, mutual funds, cash, a number of different options that are available for lowering the risk. But we also would need to keep you still in some mutual funds and some other things that would be able to give you a little bit of growth because we want to get your total portfolio somewhere, your annual average return on your total portfolio somewhere between 4.5 to 6.5% after all expenses have been paid for management of fees. So that's what you need to have in your mind. You're going to be targeting somewhere in that range, and that's what most financial advisors are going to be looking at getting your portfolio in. And so you understand, if you're withdrawing 4%, that means you're going to have, maybe if your growth is 4.5%, you'll have 0.5% of growth. So that means you have on this scenario at the very top, if you had $100,000 in your retirement savings when you retire, you withdraw 4%, and you're growing at 4.5%. That means you will use $4,000 of what you just earned, what it just grew that year, but you will also have an extra excess growth of $500 on that retirement fund. So that just gives you perspective. Now, obviously, at $100,000, that's not going to be very much money for a yearly allowable income. $4,000. It's just not going to give you that much. So if we up this to 10%, I just want you to get a perspective here. If we put it 10%, that would give you a yearly income from retirement funds of $10,000. That still, for some people, would not be sufficient. So if we upped it to 20%, that would give you $20,000. But I want you to understand what happens. So if you are growing at 4.5 to 6.5% in your total return on your portfolio, but you're taking out 10%, that means that you're taking out potentially 4 to 5.5% more than what you're actually earning on that portfolio, which means your portfolio, your money has a definite expiration date on it, and it's potentially going to not outlive you, which means that gets really difficult in the final years that you will have when you have increased medical expenses and all the other things that are going on in your life. You don't want your money to go be done before you are done with your life on earth. You want to definitely have your money outlive you and to be able to pass something on. I'm not saying that you should live in skimp, so that you could then pass it on a bunch to your heirs. Enjoy the money. You've worked hard for that all of your life. You should be able to enjoy it as much as possible and realistic. So 20% would not be realistic on this type of portfolio. This is what a lot of individuals or less have. Loads of individuals that I have talked to over the years have less than $100,000 in the portfolio. So you can see if that's you, you're going to really look tight. I've had lots of clients that have hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, and those are in a much better situation, as you obviously can see from this. So I'm going to give you just a perspective here. So the middle one, I'm not going to talk about as much. I just plug in a desired income. So let's say you're living on $60,000 a year now, you and your spouse working, or your partner working in all of your income sources. It's about $60,000 pre-tax money. So then if in retirement, from your retirement income, if you want to have a target of $40,000 in your retirement that you want to withdraw from your retirement funds, to be able to do that at a 4% withdrawal, you're going to need to have saved $1 million to be able to do that, approximately. So that's just to give you a perspective. So let's take this $4,000. It automatically jumps down here into the yearly income. As we switch the numbers, it'll change here too. Divided by 12 months, so that's the yearly divided by 12 months. That gives you a monthly income of $333. Now, that is a really low amount of money for most people to have supplemented their income. So let's say you put this at 500,000. I think that was the right zeros. Yep, that was it. So if you had $500,000 in your portfolio, you could be looking at a 4% return, a withdrawal, to give you somewhere around $20,000 of yearly income, which if you look at the bottom here, that would mean that you would have an income monthly of about $1,600 pre-tax money, almost $1,700. So if we put this now at 1 million, I'm going to just do it this way. Add the numbers there. So if we put it at 1 million, that would give you a $40,000 yearly income. That would give you a monthly income of $3,333. Let's just say you put it at 5 million. Let's change that number here and change that. So at $5 million in your retirement funds, you would then have a yearly income allowable of about $200,000 you could draw from your retirement funds. In addition, that would mean a monthly income of about $16,667. But let's draw this back to just a little bit more. Let's go a little bit less than that, half of that. And let's go to 2.5 million. So that would mean yearly your income would be 100,000, and then monthly your income would be $8,333 pre-tax that you would be able to bring in from your retirement funds. Now, let me put you in some more perspective. So in context, a lot of people have said to me, well, I don't really need to worry too much about my retirement savings because I'm going to have Social Security to live on. So let's look here. These two charts help us to put things in context. So the Social Security Administration has limits of the maximum amount of income you can receive monthly from your Social Security funds, provided you have paid in the right amount of money, have made enough money, and every time you've paid in that money, and you've done that consistently for the minimum amount of units that you need to be able to qualify. So if you retire at age 70 and you apply for Social Security benefits at age 70, in this year, in 2019, your maximum amount you can receive per month is $3,770. Now, at full retirement age, if you apply for that right now in 2019 at age 66, then if you start to receive those benefits at age 66, that's $2,861 a month, or $34,000 a year. At age 70, it would have been $45,240. At age 62, if you decided to retire early and you want to, because of health reasons or whatever the situation, and you start to receive your Social Security benefits at the soonest you're able to, which is age 62, then you would be looking at receiving in 2019 the maximum. That means the most. That's if you've paid in as much as necessary to get the maximum benefit. That's $2,209 a month, or $26,000 a year. Now you can see in 2020 it goes up fractionally. So age 70 is $3,790. That's a $20 increase, which means that it goes up a little over $240. It goes up for the yearly amount. That's $45,480. So if you go back up here, and let's say you have $100,000, because that's a common amount a range that people have, a little less than 100,000, a little more than 100,000. No, let's call it 200,000. let's just say you saved really well for 40 years, and you had a job that paid you $40,000 or $50,000 a year. You really put the money away. Maybe it paid you a little bit more than that, and you really packed it away, and you saved up $200,000. So I'm not saying that that's what you would be able to do. I'm just saying let's just throw some fictitious numbers out. So that means $8,000 in a year that it would give you of income. So you can see down here in this year, you would add 8,000 on the 45,000, and you can get an idea of really where you're going to be looking at. That's $53,000 basically. And next year in 2020, the maximum you would be able to receive would be basically still about $53,000 from that. That would be combining your retirement funds plus the amount you would receive as a maximum from Social Security benefits. So you get the idea. If you haven't paid in a high enough amount withholdings from your income over the years, or if you don't have enough units accumulated, then your amount will not be at the maximum. So just so you need to figure this out, you need to go to ssa.gov. That's the Social Security Administration's website. Go there, open an account there on there. Just sign up, register for it, and they already have your information in there. You just do all the confirmations and everything, and then they will give you on there. It'll have a spreadsheet with all of your information to tell you what you will qualify, what your monthly, yearly benefits are going to be based on what you've contributed so far. And so you can see that, and you can even see a breakdown of the amounts that have been contributed by year for the years that you have worked. So you can get a perspective of where you're going to be at financially in your retirement. So I hope that this is beneficial to you so you can understand this. I'm asked this question all the time from such wide ranges of income and savings levels that it's hard to be able to pick just one. But a lot of people are less than $100,000 or less than $200,000. So this would give you kind of a range of what you would look at. You really can't expect that Social Security is going to sustain you. You need to do responsible saving in your money. Sorry, my family just came home, so you can hear my dog and my parrot probably going crazy in the background. So you just need to be responsible. You need to do your saving carefully. And if you're close to retirement and you're not near a target of the kind of income that you really need, when you combine what your benefits are projected to be on ssa.gov, combined with your savings that you already have put aside for retirement, then you need to do some creative looking at how you can develop some alternate streams of income. Maybe investments in purchasing a business that's already operating that you can run part-time, or you can have someone run it for you and get income. Maybe starting a business at your home, a service business in the community, maybe an online business, or maybe doing some real estate investments, some rental properties. There's a number of things that you could do to increase your income. You're going to obviously probably have to lower expenses as well, but you need to take it very serious because your future is really dependent on the quality of your future, I should say, is really dependent upon the choices you make today. So if you've got a long time to plan for retirement, be very responsible. Plug the numbers in. Don't think like many young people do that that's so far off, I don't need to worry about it. I have been told that I don't know how many times from college students and people that have just graduated, just starting the workforce. I don't need to really plan for that. I'll just contribute a little to my 401k each year because Social Security is going to take care of it, and I'll have enough money by then. I'll save later when I'm making a lot of money, when I don't have to worry about kids and marriage and all the rest. Well, that is a very devastating thing because time and compounding nature of money is very serious. And the longer you wait, the less you have of time and compounding to be able to work for you. The sooner you contribute, the better you are going to be in the long run. And if you contribute a lot up in the front end, then you could even stop in the later end. I'm not suggesting you do, but you could. And that money over time would compound over 30, 40 years. And by the time you get ready for retirement, you could have a significant amount of retirement to be set aside. So anyway, I hope that's beneficial for you. If you have questions, you can send me a message or email me.